Okay, let's jump right in. If you're the kind of person who's always looking for, that shortcut to knowledge, a highly optimized system to get the most benefit in the least amount of time, chances are you look for that same efficiency with your fitness.
Oh, absolutely.
And today we've got a blueprint for exactly that. It's a really structured, time-efficient home workout for lower body strength and glute power,
Hmm.
all in under 35 minutes. It's like a masterclass in intent.
It really is. I mean, the source material here, it's not just a list of exercises, it's an engineered solution.
To the problem of not having enough time.
Exactly. And the mission for this deep dive is it's crystal clear. We're not just aiming to get you tired. We are specifically targeting, well, four things. Building strong legs, getting superior glute activation.
Which is so critical for posture.
So critical. Then improving your balance and knee stability and burning calories through movements that absolutely prioritize control over, just reckless speed. This is all about precision.
And that structure, it's so efficient, it's almost mathematical. You're in and out in, 28 to 32 minutes? Zero wasted time. It's broken down into 4 parts. A 5-minute warm-up.
Which they call non-negotiable.
A 20 to 22-minute main workout, a 2-minute core finisher, and then a 3 to 5-minute cool down. The key thing we really need to drill down on today is that the effectiveness of this whole thing hinges on the quality of how you do it.
The whole design is built around that. It's about eliminating decision fatigue and just maximizing the impact of every single second.
All right, so let's start with section 1, that non-negotiable foundation, the 5-minute warm-up. I really like that they dedicate almost 20% of the whole session just to prep.
It's smart.
Every movement is for 45 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
So you start with light squats, then leg swings front, back, and side, then hip circles, a march in place with high knees, and you finish with ankle mobility, heel raises and circles.
And that specific sequence, it's foundational for a couple of reasons.
Uh,
First, yeah, you're getting your core temperature up, you're priming the cardiovascular system. But more importantly, and this is what the source really emphasizes, this whole sequence is about ensuring safe knee and hip work.
for what's about to come.
For what's about to come. The main workout is loaded with things like lunges and squats. They put a lot of stress on the knees. If your hips aren't mobile and your ankles aren't primed to stabilize, you risk transferring all that force straight into the knee joint.
So that ankle mobility part, it's actually crucial then. It's not just some throwaway move at the end.
Precisely. If you, the listener, struggle at all with balance or knee pain, that ankle and hip work is your immediate fix. The side-to-side leg swings, the hip circles, they're directly preparing the muscles that stabilize your pelvis for the single leg stuff later.
Like the reverse lunge.
Like the reverse lunge. It's safety first, but it's functional safety.
Okay, so the engine is primed, the foundation is set. Now we have to talk about how they maximize output in those next 20 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
This is the main strength component, the big 6. It's 4 complete rounds. And here's where the structure gets really interesting.
Yeah, this part introduces a really key piece of the time management puzzle. The source mandates a 45-second rest after each round is complete.
And it's 45 seconds, not a minute.
Right, and that's strategic. It's just enough time to, clear out some of that lactic acid and let your muscles partially recover. But it's not so long that your heart rate completely drops.
Okay, so it keeps you in that work zone.
Exactly. That planned recovery is what lets you maintain the high quality and control that the exercises demand in the next round. It's all intentional.
Let's get into those exercises, because this is where the deep dive into mechanics really starts. The first 3 are all about creating maximum muscle engagement with specific tempo and isometric holds. First up, the squat plus pulse, 12 reps for quads and glutes. But the key instruction is that 2-second pulse after each squat.
And this is where we stop just counting reps and we start counting tension. That 2-second pulse, it's a deliberate hold at the bottom of the squat, the point of maximum tension.
So you might ask, why waste 2 seconds pulsing? Why not just do 5 more reps?
A great question. It seems trivial.
Defend the pulse.
Okay, so it all comes down to time under tension, or TUT. When you add that pulse, you dramatically increase the TUT, especially for the muscle fibers that respond best to that kind of intense static stress. A normal squat can rely on sort of a rebound effect, a little bounce. The pulse eliminates that. It forces the quads and glutes to fire from a dead stop, which leads to deeper, more precise muscle recruitment.
That completely changes how you think about the movement. Okay, next up, the glute bridge. 15 reps, slow tempo, targeting glutes and hamstrings. And the instruction here is so specific, you have to squeeze at the top for 3 full seconds.
And that 3-second peak contraction is designed to fight the single biggest mistake people make with this exercise.
Which is?
Using momentum and just arching their lower back. When people rush a glute bridge, they end up using their hamstrings and their back more than their glutes. By making you go slow on the way up, and then that 3-second squeeze, where you're actively trying to, crush a walnut between your glutes, you force complete peak activation of the target muscle. It makes the exercise so much more effective.
And that makes sense. I mean, if the glutes are often inactive from sitting all day, those holds are basically waking them up for the work ahead.
Absolutely. So the first two exercises are your tension builders. Now the next two, they shift our focus to stability and balance, which is one of the program's core goals.
We move to reverse lunges, 10 reps on each leg. And the tip here to make it work is to keep your weight specifically on your front heel.
That heel cue is a classic biomechanical trick. If you push through your toes on a lunge, you shift the work to your quads and you put more pressure on the knee. By pushing only through that front heel, you actively fire up the glutes and hamstrings to drive your body up. It's just better for strengthening the whole leg and for training your balance under load.
And right after that, we isolate lateral stability with the side leg raise, 12 to 15 reps per side. The cue is simple, but really important, slow and controlled.
This one is so critical for training your hip abductors, which includes the gluteus medius. Those are the muscles on the side of your hip that basically stop your knee from collapsing inward.
A really common issue.
A very common issue called valgus collapse. If you just swing your leg up, momentum takes over and the exercise is useless. By doing it slowly, you force those small, vital, stabilizing muscles to do all the work. It builds that side-to-side stability you need for walking, running, everything.
Okay, so we've covered tension and stability. Now for the last two main movements, the finishers, we've got calf raises, 15 to 20 reps. The tip is to go for a full stretch and a full contraction.
The calves can be an afterthought, but they're a huge part of your lower body power. They're the spring in your step. The source insists on a full range of motion, all the way down to a deep stretch, all the way up to a maximal squeeze, because that's what maximizes ankle strength and resilience. It's what protects the ankle from sprains.
And finally, the one everyone loves to hate, the wall sit. You're holding for 30 to 40 seconds, knees at a perfect 90-degree angle. We know it roasts the quads, but the source notes something fascinating. It also trains mental endurance.
This is a really profound insight into the whole philosophy here. A wall sit is a maximal static hold. Your quads will be on fire in, 20 seconds?
If that.
Right. But your body is physically stable. The moment you stand up, that failure isn't physical, it's psychological. By forcing you to hold that perfect angle for 40 seconds, the exercise is teaching you to push past discomfort when your form is still good. It builds mental fortitude.
That link between physical control and mental toughness, that's the sign of a really well-designed program.
It connects right back to that first goal, maximizing results with intent.
So we're out of the main workout. We move straight into the last two parts, keeping that strict timing. First, the 2-minute core finisher, a quick burn. It's 1 minute of a plank, immediately followed by 1 minute of slow mountain climbers.
This is a textbook combo. It's a static stability challenge. The plank followed immediately by a dynamic stability challenge. The plank locks in your core strength, and then the slow mountain climbers demand that your core maintains that stability while your limbs are moving. And the slowness is key. It prevents momentum, making your core work much harder.
And then we completely shift gears. The 3 to 5 minute cool down, the source says this is not optional. This is where recovery begins.
It's non-negotiable for mobility and injury prevention. We're targeting every muscle we just worked: hamstrings, quads, glutes, specifically the seated figure 4 hip flexors, and calves. And you have to hold each stretch for 20 to 30 seconds. That's the minimum time needed to signal the muscle to actually lengthen and relax, improving your mobility long term.
So we switch from high tension to restorative work. And the very last thing on the list is just deep breathing.
It's the final structural step. The workout triggers your fight or flight system. Deep breathing signals the rest and digest system to take over. It's the physiological brake pedal that brings your heart rate down and tells your body to start repairing itself.
So when we zoom out, what's the core philosophy here? What's the big takeaway for the listener?
If you synthesize this whole plan, you see that building real power and stability in a short amount of time at home, it's all about optimizing mechanical tension, not about just doing more reps. The 2-second pulse, the 3-second squeeze, the slow control, those are the things that create tension and recruit deep muscle fibers. The value for you, the listener, is understanding that maximizing results is about how you move. It's about mechanics and intent.
It's so interesting they consciously included mental endurance in there with the quad work. It's this recognition that physical performance often breaks down in the mind before the muscle does. Since this plan is so reliant on control and strength and that mental push, let me leave you with this to think about. How often do you consciously add mental endurance challenges into your own fitness routine? And what other common exercises you do? A push-up, a dumbbell curl, even a plank could be totally transformed just by adding a mandatory 2 or 3 second isometric hold at the toughest point, just like they did with that squat pulse. Go explore that control. See what insights you can unlock about your own strength.